Mabuhay, Akusi Andi, Taga Sweden. Welcome to Swedish Thoughts About Filipino Football. We have an exciting week 2 to go through here. There was a lot of great games being played. A lot of, especially on the Sunday, a lot of action to be talked about. Let's first take a little detour to Asian Champions League 2. That was being played before the weekend here with Kaya playing Sydney from Australia, and Cebu went away from home playing in Indonesia against Selangor. At the first, I really thought they wouldn't have any chance, either team. I think both Sydney and Selangor is better than the Filipino teams. And it sort of was shown. I'm still surprised that Kaya had 1-1 at halftime against Sydney. That was quite a big feat, but of course Sydney went away with a 4-1 win at the end there. I think Kaya's biggest chance is next game against Eastern. I think that's maybe they can get their first 3-pointer. But Cebu has a more difficult group, I think. I'm not an expert in Asian football, but what I can pick up, I think they have the more difficult group there. And of course, in the highlights in the Selangor game, it looked like Selangor had everything. I'm not sure if Cebu even had a shot on goal in the whole game. But anyway, Selangor won 1-0. So that's still a pretty... I think Cebu should be proud that it wasn't more. So that's something. But let's talk about the Filipino Football League. That's why I'm here. And the first, of course, we can talk about Loyola. Because they played the first game and against Maharlika. And it seems like why they didn't play the week before was that they didn't have all their players yet. That seems to have been the issue, if I understood everything correct. They had not all their foreigners had not come to Philippines yet, and so they had asked the PFF to postpone the game, but it seems like PFF have awarded Davao a 3-0 win in that game. Even though Davao say they want to play the game. So I don't know if there is a process going on that might happen anyway. But for now, I think they will have a loss in their column there, Loyola. Considering everything, and when Loyola started the game, they only had... What was it? 14 players, 11 on field, and 3 substitutes going into the game, and some of the players was just almost signed contract on 1 hour before the game. I think they actually did quite well, even though they lost 4-1. I was quite surprised. They had some fighting spirits. Also. They got their goalkeeper injured, and one of their defenders have to step into goal. But if I understood correctly, he is also a reserve keeper. He's listed as a keeper on Transfermarkt, so it's a keeper and defender, so that's a good thing to have. But yeah. Maybe Loyola isn't that bad if they get all their players and start to play. We'll see. But yeah, Maharlika won that game. Not so much to say about that. They they were the better team the whole game. I was just impressed by the fighting spirit of the Loyola, and they should have a big pat on the back for how they performed the game. Next game was Manila Digger against Mendiola, and I expected a win for Manila Digger. They are a much better team than Mendiola, and it showed. Mendiola had their chances, but Digger were just strong, and I'm still say that they can be a surprise team. They can give the top 5 teams a really big fight, and might be able to grab a top 5 place. They are my dark horse, as I said the last video. Manila Digger, they won 4-0 at the end, and they were just quite the size bigger than Mendiola in this game, and Mendiola will struggle, as I predicted last week. Now we're on to the action-packed Sunday. There was some really great action on the Sunday games. Three matches, 6 games scored, 2 red cards, and some surprising stuff going on here. First, the Sunday started off with the youth team, the PFF Youth National Team. It appears to be the under 20 national team. It mostly consists of players from Toulouse. I should have expected that. I don't know why I didn't think of it. And Toulouse was last season one of my favorite teams. I really liked how they played. So if I would have thought a little bit and knew this, I will maybe have put the development team higher up in the table. At least after this result it was against Cebu. Cebu, I think, maybe underestimated the team a little bit. It looked like they rested some players because, of course, they played in the Champions League 2 earlier on the Thursday. So it looks like they had changed some players there, and maybe underestimate the development team. But also they got quite an early red card, Cebu. An ugly elbow to the face by Korsame. I hope I pronounce his name correct there. That made it a little bit more difficult to Cebu, but they should have made it. They should have won more. It took until the 86th minute when Strong headed in the first goal for Cebu. He was, of course, double the size of the youth teams almost. And eventually Cebu won 2-0 with a late goal in the 95th minute, something like that. Made it the results 2-0. Next up was one of the big games of this week. It was Wontagig against Stallion Laguna, and it did not let us down. It was a really great game. Both teams playing well, fighting, and it was quite a heated battle. Stallion took a lead in the first half from a free kick by McDaniel that Ricardo Sendra headed in. But shortly after, they got a red card. There was some scuffle going on there, and eventually Juan Trujillo got a red card. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I thought it was Placito who was gonna get the red card, but he has got a yellow. Trujillo got the red card, and it was 2 or 3 yellow cards at the same time there. One more for Stallion Laguna, Placito, and Arnel Amita and Sato got also yellow cards for one gig. Yeah, I thought one gig would have equalized, but then again, in the 80th minute, Stallion got another free kick. McDaniel once again finds the head of Placito this time to make it 2-0, which was the final result. For me, a little bit surprising. I thought Montague should have been the better team, but yeah, it was two of the top teams, so very, very good game. The last game of the week was the big headliner. Even though last game here, Montague Italian, that's big. But then we had Davao against reigning champions Kaya. And again, a really great game. I think Kaya sort of looked like had the best opportunities in the beginning. It wasn't until the second half Davao got into the game. But Davao drew first blood in this game. Gabriel Costa scored with an assist from the new Alessandro Righi. So the two new foreigners for Davao introduced themselves in a very good way. And for the longest time I thought Davao would win this game. But then in the 98th minute, Kaya managed to score. Martini Ray, it was after a big back and forward ball was bouncing in the penalty area, and he found a goal, and the match ended 1-1. So it was action this week. One thing I see here now, I must have missed this during the game. There was one red card in this game as well. Dino Trilaksana got a red card. When? He wasn't starting, so he must have got a red card from the being on the side or before the game. I don't know, it even doesn't say any minutes. I totally missed that. Interesting. But yeah, that was an action-packed weekend with some nice football. We have some matches coming up this weekend, and we have 3 matches on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. The first game on the Saturday is Mendiola against Loyola, so there we'll see who is if Loyola has a good squad now and can beat Mendiola. I think Loyola will win that game. And then we have the champions Kaya will square off against Maharlika. That should be an easy win for Kaya. Even though Maharlika have shown some quality, more than last year. And then Cebu against Digger. I think Cebu will win this. I don't think they will underestimate Digger, but it can end up a draw. Digger, as I said, they can upset one of the big boys. The first game on the Sunday then is Stallion will play the youth team. That should be a win for Stallion, but as we saw against Cebu, the youth team they have talent. What they're lacking is size and strength. And of course, as we saw in the goal, the first goal for Cebu was a header. The size isn't there for the youth team, but some very good technical abilities in the team. And the last game of the weekend is Davao against Wontagig. So that's another great game to look forward. Two of my favorites for the title will square off. So we'll see who is the best. I think there will be a draw again for Davao. I hope for a win for Davao, but I think there will be a draw. To finish off this video, I'm gonna talk a little bit about who I think will win. Last week I just took up the league phase, what I think how the league will end up. As you might remember, I thought Davao will be first and Wontagig second, followed by Stallion and Cebu. And I might regret my choice, especially in the bottom there. But anyway, I did not talk last time about who I think will win the playoff. Because if it, I think it's the first team ended up first will play the team on fourth, and the second will play the third, I guess. So that will mean that Davao will play Cebu, and I actually think Cebu will win that. Maybe weird, but yeah. And of course, in the second match for that playoff, if that will happen, it's Wontagig versus Stallion, and I think Tagig will win that one. And the final then Cebu against Tagig. Wontagig, I should say, not Maharlika. And I think Wontagig will be crowned the champions this season. So that is my prediction, but it still is many games to go, so we will see. I will be back next week with an update for the week 3 matches, but then again, always, if you like this video, give this a like, give me a follow, and also please leave a comment. What do you think? Who do you think will win? Is there something else you want me to talk about, football wise, preferably Philippines football? My knowledge is not super great, but greater than other Swedish, I promise you. I have followed for a couple of years now and done some research. So, anywho, that is it for me today. Thank everyone who subscribed to my new channel here, and all the positive comments I got from last video. And I will be back next week with a new video. Let's try and get spread the word about this channel, please. I would like to see at least 20 subscribers when I do next video. I hope I can reach that. But thanks again, everyone, for watching this video. See you again next week, and take care. Bye.